guys, welcome to my channel. If you have clicked on this video, it means you are either a beginner, you want to learn how to sew and you don't know how to go about it, you are confused as a beginner, what am I supposed to do and all that, or you are already in the business and you still want to know more about sewing for beginners, some tips that you need so that you too, while you are sewing, you can update yourself with it or even share that idea with someone. So this video is specifically going to be based on things you should know as a beginner in sewing. So the first thing is, please subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Subscribe to this channel and also do well to click on the notification bell. The reason being that it will help you whenever I upload a new video, you will get notifications. You get it. Also, the next thing to do is to go to the description side of this video. I have all the lessons from lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3 that you need to follow, or you can follow as a beginner in sewing. That will help you to learn sewing in your own room. Even if you are in a fashion school or learning as an apprentice somewhere, you can watch these videos. That will help. So the links are there to lesson 1, lesson 2, and everything to the current lesson that you need to know about sewing. Okay, so let's go to business. As a beginner in sewing, what are some of the things you need to know? I have some points here that I'm going to share with you. So the first thing you need to know as a beginner, if you really want to learn sewing, is to first get the needed equipment. You get it? The things you need to learn sewing, first get them, like sewing machine, like tape measure, like scissors, like pins, chalk. Get all the necessary equipment and tools that you will need in sewing, because if you start and you don't have those things, it will be difficult, and moreover, you'll be perfect while you practice them, and those things are the things you need in practicing. The second point I'm going to share with you is find your own space. You have the things that you are going to use to learn sewing, so that you have your own space where you can put the things, arrange them and be organized, so that it wouldn't be like today you set up here and then you pack the things and then you have to go and set up somewhere else. It makes it difficult for you and you can end up misplacing some of the things. But if you have everything at a place, this is my sewing table, this is my sewing place, you can easily have access to those things. You get it? The next thing that you also need to know is to get an instructor. Get someone who will guide you in the sewing, because you don't know anything about it. And so if you decide to do it by yourself without any instructor, and when I'm saying instructor, I'm not saying compulsory go to a fashion school or compulsory be an apprentice somewhere. Maybe you are a business person, maybe you work at the office, so you don't have that luxury of time to go out there to find yourself an instructor. You can find instructor on YouTube, social media. You can get instructors like me. So just subscribe, follow the videos. The links are there in the description box of this very video from lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. It follows. So get someone, if it's on YouTube or even someone you can get physically. Make sure you have someone you are following. If not, it will be very difficult for you to learn sewing. So get an instructor. It's very, very important. The next point that you also need to consider is to, after you have all this, the next thing is to get your confidence. Be confident. If you don't have confidence, it will be difficult. You need confidence to be able to hold the machine, to paddle it and all that. You need confidence to be able to hold scissors and be cutting fabrics here and there. Some people, because of lack of confidence, they've learned this thing for years and they still find it difficult cutting certain fabrics. When you give them expensive fabric to cut, they are afraid because the confidence level is not there. Gather that confidence and it will help you. And then the next thing you need to know is to start getting used to the equipment, the machine, how to set the machine, how to run the machine, how to paddle it, how to hold the scissors, when to use pins, how to use your tape measure. You need to get used to this equipment too. So when you go into the listed lessons that I have in the description box of this video, we have how to set the machine, things you need to know about machine. We have it there. What you need to know, even different types of needles. You need to know all that and when to use this particular needle. Do you get it? So get to know the tools and then the equipment you are using. Familiarize yourself with them. Then the next point is to learn the basics. Now in learning the basics, you are going to learn how to sew straight line, how to sew square, how to sew round, because perfect seams is one of the things that will make your work look very perfect and beautiful out there. Especially if you are sewing for men and you don't know how to sew perfect seams, it makes it very difficult. There are some of the styles when you are sewing, you need to do top stitch and your stitches are not straight. They are curving here and there. And so if you know how to cut but your seaming is not perfect, it doesn't appear well, you will sew a dress, and because the outside stitches, the top stitches are not looking beautiful, they are not looking straight, they are not looking perfectly round or square, the work becomes rough and unpresentable. As a beginner, it will be difficult for you to get it perfect from the beginning. And so you don't need to concentrate on speed. You just have to concentrate on getting it right. And so you have to take your time and be doing it. And I have videos on that there where it will take you through all that. Now, the next point you also need to consider is start with alteration. Now you can control the machine. And so get some of your old fabrics and start the ones that are tight on you. Start taking the decision to what? To alterate it and making it loose to fit you. Do you get it? Sometimes you can get some of your old fabrics and then dismantle it, take off the sleeve, take off the zip, and then start pinning it together again and then sewing on top. There are all ways of getting perfect with the machine, also getting your sewing or your lines very well. Do you get it? Our next point to consider is learn how to take body measurement. It's very necessary. You need to learn now. You need to know how to take body measurement with your tape measure, and even how to take measurement for your own self. Do you get it? When you get to know the basics, it will help you. And it's very good you know your own measurement, because when you are learning sewing, you are not going to use anybody's measurement. You have to use your own measurement. I prefer you use your own measurement. If you're able to sew for yourself perfectly, that is when you can be confident enough to sew for others. And then the next point you need to know as a beginner is to start working with papers. And so start getting brown papers and be working with them. Start learning how to do gathers, how to do pleats, all these simple things. Start with them. Get to know how to do all these things before you start tackling difficult things. Get the simple ones first. If you know how to do gathers with your needle and thread is good, then you learn how to use the machine to run gather stitches. Do you get it? If you know how to do pleats, you do all this with brown papers or any paper that will help you, pattern papers. You play with them before you begin to go to the next one. The next thing you do is, now you are going to learn how to draft. Now you know how to take your own body measurement. So you are going to learn how to draft basic pattern on a paper, how to draft basic skirt, how to measure that and place it on the paper and all that. And I have videos on all that there. As a beginner, when you follow, it will help you. Do you get it? And sometimes when we talk of drafting, people are so much confused about it. You don't need to worry so much getting complicated drafting here and there. No, it's about simple drafts. How to draft sleeve, basic sleeve, how to draft basic pattern, body pattern, how to draft basic skirts. Do you get it? If you know these things, these are the things you'll be working around throughout your sewing, while you get to know the simple ones before you introduce yourself with the complicated ones. And now the next thing you need to know is, before you work on fabric, you need to know different types of fabrics. We have stretchy fabrics, we have fabrics that are nylon, different silky fabrics that you need to know, because knowing the different types of fabrics, you will know the styles that you need to sew with those fabrics, and even the needles that you need to use, and even how you need to sew them. Do you get it? And then the next point you need to know is how to fold your fabric. I hope you get it, how to fold your fabric. And so you know that, if you are folding fabric, you need to consider pattern. Now, this fabric as a pattern. If I want to sew a straight dress, how am I going to fold this fabric so that I don't miss the pattern. I don't end up turning it upside down. Do you get it? So you need to know how to fold your fabric. Hope you get it. And then the next thing you need to know to transfer the drafting that you done on paper to your fabric, so that you can sew and wear it. Do you get it? And it's very important you know how to do it. And so if you know how to fold the fabric, then you know that, okay, I did something on a paper, so let me take what I did on the paper on the fabric, place it on it, and then draw it out and then cut it. You need to learn to cut fabrics without a pattern. Yes, there are certain styles you need to draft them before you place them on a fabric to cut, but at a point you need to know how to cut a straight dress without necessarily doing it on a paper before placing it on the fabric. At a point you need to know how to cut trousers without necessarily doing it on a paper before you do it on a fabric. Do you get it? And so you need to begin to learn how to cut the fabric without your pattern paper. And so the next point that I want to share with you is, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Do you get it? Make the mistakes and learn from the mistakes. Don't be afraid of cutting that beautiful fabric. Make a mistake, cut it and get it wrong. When you get it wrong, you will learn from that mistake. But if you don't cut it and you don't get it wrong, how will you be able to learn and then correct your mistakes? So do not be afraid of making mistakes, and also give yourself time. Be patient. Know that it takes time for you to perfect, and so you need to practice them more. You cannot be holding machine today, then it will take you 3 weeks before you come back and then touch the machine. You will forget everything as a beginner. Even the professionals, if you stop sewing for some time and then you come back, you realize that you have forgotten certain things and you need to start learning them again. And so do not stop. Be consistent with the learning and practicing it daily. Even if you can get 30 minutes every day to practice, it is better than waiting for the next 3 weeks or the next month before you spend 5 hours on practicing again. Do not give up. Be consistent and practice daily. I hope these few points will help you. Once again, if you are watching me and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing, like and share this video. And when you visit the description side of this video, I have the links to all the lessons there, from lesson 1 to the current one, where it will help you when you watch them one after the other and be practicing. Sometimes you need to watch one video like 10 times and practice it like 10 times or 20 times. Don't worry, do it. Even if you have to take 1 month to perfect on one video, it is better than not perfecting and then you move to the next one. Do you get it? So give yourself time and you are going to get there. Thanks so much for watching. If you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Like this video, share for me. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.